Good to go. Wherever you are. Hello, Internet. Good to see you again. Welcome back to the Homebrew Studio. My name is Matthew. My pronouns are he, him, and I'll be with you for the next hour or so today as we discuss making some original homebrew content that you can use in your tabletop RPG games. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's great. So, what to talk about today? Well, I wanted to sort of continue on from a topic I started talking about last season, which was materials and craft, coming up with unique materials that might be found in your game world and how you could weave them into the game and make interesting things for them, or from them. And today is sort of an evolution on that idea as we talk about not necessarily crafting weapons or armor or that kind of things, but food and drinks and poisons, which are kind of in the same vein, just, the more unpleasant side of that. So, today, let's talk about creating some inventive ingestibles for your tabletop RPG games. Things for your players to eat or drink, or possibly trick other people into eating or drinking. So, these are going to be snackables, these are going to be omnoms, these are going to be all of those wonderful things. So, first, and this is going to be kind of a laid-back stream, today I'm just going to come up with some random stuff and put it down on a sheet for your assistance. Actually, who do we have in the chat room today? See Mike and Heather and Logan and Tiesa. Great for you to have you here today. And let's see. Well, as I said, sort of three main categories we're talking about today: food, drinks, and poison. So, Logan. Let's think about some fun food items to start out with for today, I suppose. These are going to be sourced from either strange, fantastical animals or perhaps fantastical flora of some kind, plants that are turned into food items with some kind of strange magical properties to them. What do we want to start out with today? Well, let's start thinking about what are some strange sort of fantasy creatures that it might exist in our game world. Undead bone broth. It's an interesting idea. So we're taking the bones from undead creatures, skeletons probably, because they're going to be the easiest ones to get bones out of, and turning it into some kind of bone broth. Now, I imagine this is probably going to be the kind of thing that is not necessarily very good for you, being that it comes from an undead creature, and undead creatures are not normally known for their healthiness, kind of the opposite of healthiness to be an undead. So, what do we think? Is this going to be some kind of malnutritious, or is this going to be sort of barely nutritious? It can sustain you, but it tastes horrible. Also, it might make you a little sick. See this being sort of the last resort of the dungeoneer. Your rations have run out. You have no more food, but there are plenty of skeletons in this dungeon, so boil one and hope it turns out well. This is where that pouch of spices that you sprinkle it over anything and it tastes good really starts to come in handy. Very difficult to brew correctly. I see. So we're talking sort of like a pufferfish situation where you have to prepare it very specifically. I see. I see what you're getting here, Logan. So, if it's prepared in a very specific manner, it can yield a benefit. You need to use, must be boiled in holy water. I like that. Must be boiled in holy water. What sort of benefit would this blessed undead bone broth provide? I can imagine it probably provide like a resistance to necrotic damage. If you're taking Okay, sorry about that. Hopefully you can hear me now. One of my cats decided he was going to bump into my audio cable, and hopefully you can hear me. This is all going well. Say something, please. Okay, I'm going to proceed as if everyone can hear you. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Logan. Okay. Done correctly, maybe you can prevent them from dropping to 0-1? I see. I see. Okay, that's neat. Yeah. So you have this sort of undead essence in you, so that if you are about to die, you pop back up. Sort of a death ward benefit without a cleric. Yeah. That's good. I like that. I like that a lot. Well done, Logan. I'm glad to have you here. So that's our undead bone broth. What other sort of creatures could we turn into tasty treats? I'm thinking something candied. Something. What's a magical beastie that we could turn into something sweet? Candied hippogriff. Candied chimera. A roper? Candied roper. Like it. So a candied roper tentacle. So we have our candied roper tentacle. And I apologize if you can hear the people honking their horns outside my apartment. I have no idea what's going on. But we have a candied roper tentacle, which, let's see. So ropers are from the Underdark. They are sort of this stalagmite, right? Stalagmite-looking thing, sort of mound with tentacles and one big eye and a chewy mouth. Which is what most mouths do, they chew. So what sort of benefit would a candied roper tentacle give to us? Maybe dark vision? I really wish I... maybe some sort of stealth bonus in darkness. I think there does need to be a chance of something sort of going wrong with this, though. All great fun homebrew ingestibles. There needs to be a chance of something going wrong. Haste from the sugar. Yeah, possibility. So let's say there's also a 10% chance. 10% chance you just sprout a tentacle somewhere. Yeah, ropers are kind of sneaky. They sort of sit in one place and wait for people to come up with. Ooh, spider climb. That's also a thing. Spider climbing. The spider climbing, I think, is more of a it's sort of a sticky kind of thing. So let's see here. What if we have a spider jelly taffy? That will give us our spider climb. Something nice and sticky to go along with the theme of sticking to the walls. Exactly, Jay. Makes your fingers sticky so you can climb. And there's a small chance that your limbs start to grow coarse dark hair because, cooking isn't an exact science. It's more of an art. Let's see. What other sort of fun abilities or ideas do we have? Let's try thinking of something more plant-based, perhaps. What sort of plant creatures do we have? Well, there are treants. There are shambling mounds. There are those things. I know this hand motion isn't telling you anything. They're like vine creatures I've completely forgotten the names of. Well, let's see. Plant creatures. Treant treacle? Ooh. Treant treacle. And what would a treant treacle do you? Well, I think it would obviously grant you the ability to speak with plants. Bark skin. Oh, yes, of course. Bark skin. Absolutely. Small chance, though. Twigs begin to grow out of your ears. And sprouts. Let's see what else. What else? These are all wonderful ideas. Thank you all so much for joining in and participating today. These are great suggestions. Let's see here. What else could we have? We could have a red cap surprise. So nasty little mushroom fay. We take them, we chop them up, we put them in a stew, or maybe we stuff them with some kind of Italian cheeses and bake them. Red cap surprise. Like a meatball sub. I like the idea that this would grant the reckless attack feature. So no matter what class you are, you pop a red cap surprise and you can reckless attack like a barbarian. But there's a small chance you enter a blood frenzy and just attack anything that's nearby. You know. Because that happens sometimes. And after what Logan did, they should terrify you, Tessa. What else? What else could we do? Maybe some kind of what's a good mushroom dish? I'm thinking myconids. What do we really do with mushrooms aside from like stews? To be something sort of quintessentially mushroom in terms of Yes, I am googling mushroom. Mushroom ice cream, mushroom gravy. Stuffed shrooms. Okay. I like the idea of myconid ice cream. So some mushroom ice cream grants limited telepathy. Small chance you begin to emit spores. Also, small chance you trip balls because they are mushrooms. So we sort of covered food, candy, desserts. Let's start turning our attention to beverages. What sort of drinks, and specifically alcoholic drinks? What sort of boozy concoctions can we create for our fantasy setting? I know Logan in Countless Heroes had some wonderful examples of magically enchanted booze at the I've completely forgotten the name of the tavern. I'm so sorry, but they would basically stir the ale with different sort of heated metals. The Beer Forge, thank you, Logan. And it would impart different magical effects. What other sort of recipes could we concoct? Let's see. Maybe a. Hmm. You know how in tequila bottles they sometimes have that little worm at the bottom? What if that was a slot? What would that impart to the beverage? I have to wonder. What are things that slot can do? Well, they are shapeshifters, can change their appearance. Um, Morphos. I think they have like limited telepathic abilities, maybe. Um, Snake Venom Vesper. I'm assuming that a Vesper thing. Oh, it's a cocktail. A martini. Okay. Let's see. Hmm. You had a snake venom alcohol that had aphrodisiac properties. Mm-hmm. Learning new things all the time about this Tolas game you guys played. Let's see. So let's see. Slod tequila. One idea. I don't know quite know what the effects of that are going to be because slods are usually generally pretty. Um, but what else could we do? What are some other creatures could have a zombie made from zombies? How'd you like zombies? So we put zombies in your zombies so you can zombie while you zombie. Vegapigma vodka? Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Oh no, not the Zozo juice. Anything but the Zozo juice. I remember that episode. I remember that happening. Uh, K and vodka. So no Jane. Also, hi Jay. I don't think I greeted you. Welcome to the studio. Thanks for hanging out today. Let's see. What other fun things can we... Racking my brains here. Let me see. I'm gonna cheat here. Pull up a creature list. See if I can get inspiration. Ah, gelatinous cube. What could we make from a gelatinous? The brawl break. I like that, Tessa. Just keep a bucket behind the bar, splash it on people who get out of line. Jello. A gelatinous cube. Ooh, a gelatinous julep. That. Strong booze. Deals acid damage. Versus con save. I like the idea of a gelatinous cube. Feed a gelatinous. Nope, I also spelled it wrong. My mouse stopped. Hello? Sorry. Stream of technical difficulties today. New battery for mouse. There we go. Gelatinous. Kraken Ink Ale. Sounds to me like be the favorite at Motley's Pub. turns your tongue black and the rest of your insides with it. Strong booze. Chance to go blind. Well, I think that's true of pretty much most alcohols, if we're being honest. Maybe water breathing? Would make sense. Light. Atrocious. Sorry, Autumn, but you're not here. Dragon turtle soup. We could have as well. Or maybe a dragon turtle steak. Imagine that would give some swim speed buff. Ooh, fake kiss. Tessa, these are just amazing ideas you're coming up with. Tail. Shot. Turns hair. Color. Random. Small chance to charm yourself. Dragon turtles all the way down. Just turtles on turtles on turtles on turtles. Okay. Hmm. What are some other ideas? Hag's hard cider. Oh, that's amazing, Tessa. We're so good at this. Chance to cackle. Yes. Yes, Michael. Chance to spontaneously cackle. Also warts. Also, frogs really like you. So you guys are coming up with suggestions today. I'm loving this. These are just ideas, Mike. You could put them all on the same menu. It'd be a very strange and eclectic menu, but you could. How about some minced mimic, anyone? Oh, there you go. I like that. What about I'm gonna horribly mispronounce this and misspell it. Is that how you spell carpaccio? That's not how you spell carpaccio. Carpaccio. There we go. A Yeti carpaccio. Always served cold. What else could we do? There's also the possibility of not necessarily slaughtering these creatures. You could always domesticate them. So how about some delicious and fortified Bullet milk? Then, of course, there's also poisons, which I mentioned at the top of the hour, and we haven't talked about. I was trying to find some interesting things to make poison. Hmm. Ooh. Dragons dahlia grow in the colors of chromatic dragons. Petals in the shape of scales, highly poisonous. Blights, that's what they were called. Those are the plant monsters I couldn't think of before. Hmm. Well, we got about 15 minutes left. What have we accomplished? quite a horde of different ideas for tasty treats and delectable delights. Thank you all so much for your wonderful ideas today. Maybe we can fit in a couple more before we're out of time. I will just quickly plug a few things. We don't have any streams tomorrow that I'm aware of, but Monday you can come back and catch Angela doing her Reader's Corner, doing another chapter out of a book of now. I feel horrible. It's a book about dragons. Look it up. The Book of Dragons. Another chapter from the Book of Dragons. It's wonderful to listen to her read the stories. They are very British and pretty silly. So come check that out. Tuesdays, of course, we have Shenanigans at 7 p.m. Pacific time. You can come and catch the ongoing zany adventures in their second campaign, the Spelljammer campaign, and contribute to the chaos as they try to find their way back home. Wednesdays are the day for the Nerdsmith Power Hour, also hosted by Angela, and often with other Nerdsmith creators appearing well, just talking about different things going on in the Nerdsmith network. Yes, aka the Book of Cats, as we learned this past week. That all cats were once dragons. Fun times. It explains so much. And then, of course, Thursday, we have No Brainer at 7 p.m. Pacific. No, 6 p.m. Pacific time. No Brainer at 6 p.m. Pacific time, hosted by myself, with 6 contestants competing in trivial challenges to see who is the best and brightest the Nerdsmith Network has to offer. So far, I think Jay is running away in terms of number of appearances. And you can also affect the game by playing along. Then Friday night, or Friday afternoon rather, yesterday we had Fireside Chad, and then Twitch Sings in the evening, and then that brings us back to Saturday when we will have another Homebrew studio session. So that's pretty much our week over here at Nerdsmith, and we hope you will come again and join us. But immediately after this stream wraps up at 5, you can hop over to Plot Hunters. I believe they're going to be streaming tonight. They have a piracy game going on, something to do with the politics of piracy. It's an awful lot of fun. They are fantastic cast. Be sure to check them out. And there is no Plot Hunters tonight. I'm so sad. It's too bad. They are a lot of fun to hang out with and watch. Maybe next week though. But I think they just announced that they canceled for tonight. But things are challenging right now for a lot of people, so I completely understand. But I think we're going to wrap up here in the studio for today, though. Thank you again so much to my lovely audience for all of your wonderful input and suggestions. Really appreciated you being with me here today. We got a lot of great ideas put down. You can, of course, be sure to check out our sponsors, our great partners for the Nerdsmith Network, Die Hard Dice, the makers of the finest polyhedrals available on the internet. They have wonderful custom-made metal dice sets for your enjoyment. You definitely check them out. And we also are sponsored by World Anvil, the best creation software suite for your world building needs. So if you are creating a world for a homebrew campaign, or you're writing a novel, or any other sort of creative pursuit that involves world building, check out worldanvil.com for really the best set of tools that you could ask for, and a great development team that's always introducing new great for their users. So that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you all for hanging out for me. Hope you had fun. I certainly did. And until next time, take care of yourself. Bye, everybody.